Okay, here's video 3 of a 4-part series on wound healing and scar management. So there are 4 phases. This is the 3rd phase. The 3rd phase is called migration and proliferation. And so migration refers to the migration or the movement of fibroblast cells into the area that needs healing, and the proliferation of those cells and their constituents in that area. So fibroblasts are cells of the immune system that lay down an extracellular matrix, and they make it really strong with something called fibrin or fibrinogen. And so they also lay down other factors that help the area heal and bind. And so these guys are the major healing guys. And these guys come in the first few days. So along with the inflammation, they come in the first few days and they continue for a long time. And so let's talk about that. So let's go 3 days to 3 weeks. They work at the site. They work at the site to form a foundational extracellular matrix between the two sides that need to be joined. So between one side of the wound and the other, and they work to get them to join together. So depending on the amount of extracellular matrix that needs to be laid down will depend on the size or the width of the scar. Okay, so what's really important at this stage is to keep everything lined up together. So this is limiting any range of motion in your body where it might stretch those areas or still limiting activity. So this is the first 3 weeks where you do nothing but watch Netflix, basically. So the way to enhance this phase of healing is to support your immune system, which we talked about in the last video, by taking some immune supplements, which, by the way, if you got those immune supplements, they would be continuing till now, like you would have bought enough if you bought enough. So in a packet, it would be at least a fortnight's worth, if not 4 weeks worth. So you would continue the zinc, the turmeric, you would continue like the quercetin, the antioxidants, and potentially the arnica up at least until 3 weeks. Okay, this is the phase where you can start to put on gels and creams at about 3 weeks. So let me just put that here. So 3 weeks, I'll be looking at gels and creams to help the scar in its formation and healing. Before 3 weeks is probably like not the best time to put things on there, just in case they like carry on an infection or like it's just too early. So the only thing you can put on at that time is something called Scar Guard. And as far as I know, Scar Guard is only available in the United States. However, it's an extremely good sealant. It's got some silica in it, it's got some vitamin E in it, and it has also a little bit of prednisone, which is a steroidal anti-inflammatory. And it's just a really great product because it seals that, which helps the two sides stay together. So you have access to that. Anyone who has surgery with Dr. Garamoni, for top surgery especially, will have access to that. And it's an extremely good supplement, and extremely good sealant gel to use even after 3 days. So after 3 weeks, the gels that I would recommend are silicon-based gels, and another gel called Renew 28. So Renew 28 is by ASEA. It is a redox gel, so it has redox molecules in it that the body would naturally create itself. And so obviously applying extra of those to an area that's trying to heal will enhance the healing in that area. It also gives the cells a bit of juice, and it's really good for them. Helps them talk to each other, which is important in a healing phase, especially if your scar's quite long, which for top surgery it is, and even for other surgeries it is as well. It also helps to manage extra swelling. So it helps the body to flush out extra swelling, mostly by just bringing more attention to that. So even for facial surgeries, it's really good for that. For more internal surgeries like hysterectomies and that, it's good to take the liquid. They've also got a drinkable liquid that they create, which I'll talk about later. I really love that supplement, as you can tell. Yeah, so other gels like silicone-based gels, I wouldn't go vitamin E until about 3 months, only because vitamin E can be a bit of a blood thinner, and it's really good for massage. So we'll talk about that in the next phase. The other things that are really important at this time, I love silica for fibroblasts and extracellular matrix and creating a scar. Silica is kind of really important. So you can take that as a supplement. You can take digestible silica, or you can put that silica cream on or gel on. Other creams, don't really recommend them, only because they're very moisture. They've got a lot of moisture in them. You don't want to have a scar that's too dry, but you don't want to have a scar that's trying to form that's too moist. So you want to keep that area aerated as much as possible, which is this phase after 3 weeks, you'd either have the bandages off or you just have a compression sleeve on during the day and have everything else off overnight or at different times of the day. So that you want the area to be getting a bit of air, depending on where it is. But most of them you want them to get a bit of air. Bathing in salt water, Epsom salts, is a great idea after 3 weeks. You'll notice at 3 weeks, if you've got an external cut that or external swelling or anything like that on the surface of your body, you'll notice that it has sealed up, that there's a scar that has been created there, and that's really good. You'll notice that. Other things that help this phase, taking collagen supplements. So I just write that down here. Collagen enhances this type of matrix that's been formed at this time. You can get collagen in a powder. You can make it yourself in soups. If you leave the bone and cartilage in the soup on the meat while you're cooking. If you're a vegetarian or vegan, you can take a collagen powder. If it is, vegetarian, you can. Vegan, I'm not so sure that it's a good idea. But plant sterols that you can get in a very high dosage, that's a really good idea to take those. That'll really help the area. And taking and putting on a lot of silica will help as well. Other oils that are really good, especially for vegetarian and vegans at this time, is flaxseed oil. So that will provide a fair bit of extra nutrition for this type of healing. So other oils that I would go for, apart from that, would be also arachidonic acids, which I'll put here. Again, arachidonic acids are mostly only found in meats. So that would be to have in those stews and those soups as well. And the flaxseed oil or fish oil, if you're into fish oil. Anything like, obviously flax oil, fish oil is always an issue with quality and then becoming rancid. Also where they come from, especially fish oil. Like if you have shitty fish and you make fish oil, it's super concentrated out of a shitty fish, you're going to get just crap in your system anyway, like heavy metals and chemicals and all that. So just see how you go with that. I mean, they are really important. Omegas are really important, but you can get omegas from lots of different places. And so obviously the more diverse your diet or the more diverse your oil uptake is, whether that's nuts, seeds, plus different types of fish, plus different types of shellfish, plus different types of meaty stews, you're less likely to need to supplement oils at this time. If you have to supplement oils, just go for a super good quality cold pressed nut oil or seed oil like flaxseed. Avoid lower standard oils, especially for cooking. So olive oil, coconut oil, the best. You don't want to have rancid oils in your system at this time because it'll create inflammation and redness in the scar and itchiness. You don't want that. Okay, good. And that is about all that I would do at this stage. The next stage is where you hit pretty hard, especially for scar healing.